Hi everybody, this is Valerie at RV Sales and I'm going to do a walkthrough on this 2006 Excel 30 RSO. If we start at the front of the unit, you'll notice that this hitch is a Demco Glide Ride, so it'll actually move back and forth to help with chucking when you're driving down the road. This is your generator compartment. Of course, you've got electric jacks with the snap jacks, so it makes it easy for hooking and unhooking. You have two propane tanks, one on each side with an automatic changeover regulator. I'll show you that when we get to the other side. You've got excellent basement storage with a pass-through tray. This one came with a lot of the extra goodies and stuff, so you're pretty much set up and ready to go. Over here, this is a water hose reel, so you could have your water hose always up inside of there. I don't really love that feature, but some people really like it, so that might be kind of handy. This plug here is just an extra plug that he wired in so that you could run like an extra heater in the bedroom or something like that. It's 50 amp service. This is where you're going to fill your water from, so you can fill your water tank. And then you've got two valves next to each other. This one here is going to be your fresh water, so that when you're sitting at a campground and you can hook to a hose. This one here is your sewer flush. Important thing about the sewer flush, lots of people think that they can time it or whatever. If you leave your valve closed when you're using that sewer flush, one of three things is going to happen. You're either going to have water and poo go up through that vent pipe, come out your roof. Water and poo can come up through your toilet and flood your bathroom. Or if we're really unlucky, both you and me, you'll burst your tank. And if you burst your tank, you're looking at least a $2,500 fix. And then we have to play in your poo. So we don't really enjoy that job. So make sure if you do the city water flush or sewer flush that you keep track and make sure that you don't overflow it. Down here, this is your pivoties. This was something that was designed and manufactured by Excel, specifically for Excel units. Inside of that tube is a 20-foot sewer hose. So when you get to the park or something, you can take off this cap. You can unchain this guy here and spin it out and around to your sewer location. Your slide outs are, I think on this one, they're going to be electric slide outs, and I'll show you the buttons when we get inside. You have a scare light over here. The buttons are inside on the passenger side of the coach to turn that on. Of course, with your slide outs, it's a good idea to lube them with a food grade silicone from time to time. And always it's a good idea to inspect your caulking and make sure that the caulking is sealed, especially on a wood frame trailer. You want to make sure that you've got a real nice bead of caulk there. If you don't, water of course can get down inside of there. This is just going to be your storage for lawn chairs or whatever else you'd like to use. To shut these, I always like to show people, because this middle button here is the release. So to go to lock position, then push over here to close it, then to release it, you push in the middle, turn it to open, and go from there. On the back end, driver's side, you're going to have your stabilizer jacks. Those are the buttons to raise and lower it. These are your stabilizer jacks. Both jacks are driven from this driver's side, both of these switches. If you ever try and run it and don't have any power, then you're going to want to check for an inline fuse up in the front basement compartment. On the back end of your trailer, you've got your different receptacles there for coax and a phone jack, believe it or not. This is your ladder to the roof. It's a good idea to inspect the roof every once in a while. Make sure there's no cracks in your lap sealant that water can get into. And it's a good idea to clean and condition that rubber roof at least once a year. On the driver's side of this rig, of course, you can see you've got this nice AlumiGuard awning. That AlumiGuard awning will help protect the awning from the sun and elements. And then also if you get too close to trees or something like that. This one is not an electric awning, it's a manual awning, so you'll have to use it kind of like the old style. It'll probably be like your current trailer. This is the back end of your water heater. You have a 10-gallon with a mixing valve, so that water comes out ultra hot, so it's going to be more like a 16-gallon equivalent. Of course, you've got your Linda handle that you can fold over when you drive down the road your folding jack or folding stairs here. Back of your refrigerator, battery compartment. That's your furnace and some 110 outlets. And this is the other side of your pass-through basement. And now we're at the driver's side, or passenger side, excuse me, propane tank. So you've got your 7-gallon propane tank here, and they are tightened down with this piece here, so you can undo that, take it out, fill it, and go from there. This is your changeover regulator right here. When this button is red, it indicates that this tank that's feeding off of this hose is empty or turned off. When it's empty, what'll happen? This will automatically start drawing off of the other tank from the other side of the unit, but it will not turn to green. What I do is I come in here, I flip this over, and then that way you can start getting propane from the other tank. It helps me keep track of which one's empty and which one's not. Now I'd like to show you the inside of this Excel and how things work. Of course, you've got your normal kitchen faucet, hot on this side, cold on that side. A light up above here that you can use the switch on the side. You've got a bunch of different switches here. These top ones are going to be for your ceiling fan vent. Bottom ones, these ones are probably going to be lights inside, and then also 2 of these are going to do your scare light on the driver's side and your scare light on your passenger side. With your door, of course, you've got your switch for your deadbolt lock here and your release so you can close just the screen door. Here you've got your refrigerator. This is an 8 cubic foot refrigerator. This refrigerator right now is working on automatic, so that if you unplugged the trailer, it would automatically sense that it's not getting that AC power and it would switch over to gas. You can also turn it off, or you can turn it to just gas instead of automatic. You can also adjust the temperature. Right now we're on the coldest temperature. If your milk starts freezing, you might go a little bit lower. Underneath of the kitchen sink, you have a trash can, and then back in here is your water heater. Your water heater is going to have 3 valves. When it's open, of course, it's going to let water come through. You can also close those valves to bypass this hot water heater so you can winterize it. You have these fold-up pieces to make your countertop a whole lot bigger. Back here, of course, you've got 2 different chairs. Your heat comes through the floor. These are slide-out sliders that can help make the slide-out move a little bit easier without catching on your carpet. Kind of a handy tool to have. Of course, your day-night shades, so they're darker up top and lighter on the bottom, so if you want just some light in or if you want total privacy. Your lights here are going to have little push button switches, and so that's how you'll turn those guys on. And same with these lights back here. You'll turn this guy. Lots of storage, of course, solid oak countertops. This is where the TV would have gone originally, but you'll see this guy really liked his TV, so he puts it over there instead of where the couch would have been. You're going to pull out here so that you can have a computer desk if you want it. Ceiling fan up top. Of course, this only works when you're plugged in. This is a 110 fan, so it's not going to work on 12 volt. You also have your fantastic fans, some surround sound speakers, more push button lights, a clock. This unit came with 2 chairs and the table. Over here you've got your stove. What you're going to do is you're going to turn the knob to light. You're going to click this to spark it, and then once it lights, then you can turn it to high. If you're ever smelling propane in here, you might check and make sure these knobs didn't get moved. For your stove or for your oven, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up this door. Never push down on the door because these hinges will break and they're kind of pricey. And then back here with a gas match, you'll light by that thermocoupler. And you want to have it heat up so it'll stay kind of like your household water heater. All of your fuses and 110 breakers are going to be right here underneath of the fridge. You've got your fire extinguisher next to it, and this is your propane and carbon monoxide alarm. If it's ever going off, it's a good idea to make sure you pay attention to it, make sure you get a lot of ventilation, figure out what the problem is, and make sure that you don't wake up dead, as my dad likes to say. These propane alarms also have a built-in death clock, so about 5 to 7 years from now, you're going to hear some beeping depending on the brand, and of course you'll want to change that out because safety is an important thing. Got some courtesy lights here, so if you ever need to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night or something like that, you can have it illuminated. This is actually your receptacle or your vacuum cleaner. There will be hoses farther back, and I'll show you later on in the tour, but that way you can vacuum. It's built in right here. As we go up the steps, we've got a variety of different switches and stuff like that. The very bottom one is going to control your heat and your cool. So right now you can see we're on cool. There's an off setting, a heat setting, and a fan only setting. Of course, these are driven by the thermostat, so you set it at the temperature that you want and go from there. That's for your fantastic fan vent. You can have the air either go in or out. You can have it on normal setting, and then here you can set it either by temperature or you can have it be manual, different stuff like that. Here you've got some more things for another fan vent and another light. And here you've got your slide out switches. So you've got the bedroom slide out switch, the sofa slide out switch, and the parlor slide out switch. I like to do one at a time. I like to look and make sure nothing is in the way, that there's no debris on the floor, and then run it in and out accordingly. If you watch this slide out as I start to retract it, you'll notice it's a flush floor slide out. So it actually, to come in, it has to come up and over this ledge. It's kind of a slow process and it's kind of noisy. Once it gets over that ledge, it's going to start coming in, but it's going to stay raised up. It won't be flush to the floor anymore. When I like to stop before it starts making a click, 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 click noise, because that's how you end up breaking gears. So make sure that as it goes out, you kind of listen for that motor to tighten up, and then stop before it does a whole lot of clicking. I'm going to let it click once or twice. So this drops down into the hole the way it's supposed to, and then the motor gets tighter, and there's that clicking. Make sure you stop as soon as you hear the clicking or a second before the clicking starts. Okay, now we're here in the bedroom. Of course, you've got your shower. This owner added, of course, some extra shampoo holders and stuff like that. It's a good idea, of course, to latch this latch when it's going down the road so you don't break the shower door or the glass. And then, of course, you've got your hot and cold here. Another fan vent here, some more storage here. Bedroom. These lights here have little switches actually on the lights that you can push. This is your smoke alarm. We forgot to get some batteries, so we'll go make sure that we this is a carbon monoxide alarm, and we're missing some batteries, so I'm going to go grab some of those for you. Above the bed, Excel did this really cool thing where you can open or close the vent, so you can either get more or less light. Sorry, I almost fell down the stairs. Depending on where you're at, or if you're camped under a full moon or a big light at a campground. This bed is a sleep number bed. You'll see the controls on each side of the bed. The important thing about this is to make sure that you let the air out before you go over big hills, or at least lessen it, because of course as you change elevation, the pressure inside of that can change. You've got your closet doors, latches there. You just pull the little latches out towards you, and then you can slide it open accordingly. You got some hidden space back here, of course, good cabinets otherwise, all of that kind of stuff. Got a lot of drawers here. You've got a clothes hamper here, emergency exit window, lights with the switches on it, soap dispenser, bathroom sink, bathroom storage. And then when we come inside the bathroom, you'll see you've got for the toilet, of course, if you want it to just fill with water a little, you just barely press on it, and then to flush, you press all the way down. Here is your monitor panel. So this is where you turn on those courtesy lights in the hallway. Right now I have the water heater on electric. It could also be on gas, or if you want hot water really fast, you can do both. Up here it'll tell you the levels of your fresh water, your gray, and your sewer tank by clicking the tank test button, and you'll see when we do that, it's going to say the fresh water is low, the water pump is on, and it's not doing any readings right there for the gray or the holding tank. And then this is telling you how much charge the batteries have for you. Again, this is Valerie at RV Sales in Moriarty, New Mexico, doing the walkthrough on the 2006 30 RSO, and I'm sorry it's quick and abbreviated, but I wanted to at least give you as much information as I could to help you get you through your new trailer, since I'm not going to be able to show it to you personally.